look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap. Just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. You got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
Joe Rogan openly questioned Floyd Mayweather's claims about his real estate wealth. During the podcast, he said that the numbers didn't seem right and the math didn't add up. Rogan suggested that Mayweather's statements about his property holdings might be exaggerated.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from an individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Rogan questioned the story about Floyd owning many buildings worth tens of millions of dollars. He pointed out that making big, flashy claims is different from actually having verified assets and proof of that wealth.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money that there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
This is where the conversation becomes more interesting. Floyd created his Money Mayweather image by showing unlimited wealth, piles of cash, expensive watches, and a powerful business empire. It made him look extremely rich and untouchable. However, some reports in the business world suggest that the reality might be more complicated than the image he shows.
That Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Mayweather's commercial properties have already gone into foreclosure. There were also reports that his Las Vegas strip club building could be taken because of unpaid property taxes. On top of that, there have been lawsuits claiming he didn't pay for some luxury watches and jewelry, although Floyd has denied these claims. Because of all this, the conversation shifts from talking about his wealth to questioning his finances.
They said that, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan.
The report also said that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos owned by Mayweather were temporarily taken because of unpaid taxes, but they were returned after he made a payment. It also mentioned a large $54 million loan that reportedly used his homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether these situations are exaggerations or misunderstandings, the difference between Floyd's public image of huge wealth and these reports has created a lot of debate. Joe Rogan's doubts about Floyd's financial empire had already started raising questions. Then Chael Sonnen joined the discussion and spoke very directly, basically saying that the idea of Floyd being broke shouldn't really be surprising.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing gym, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
He turned the question back to the audience and said that if regular people wake up and go to work every week because they need money, then it shouldn't be surprising if a boxer keeps fighting for the same reason. It was a very direct point, mixing honesty with a bit of sarcasm. He then continued by challenging the big money stories in boxing. He explained that the billion-dollar earnings and huge pay-per-view numbers often come from promotional press releases rather than publicly confirmed financial records. He also said that no one from the companies actually handling the pay-per-view sales has verified those extremely high figures. That statement alone challenges many of the big claims that have been repeated in boxing for years.
He's a gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the way. What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Chael isn't only criticizing Floyd, he is also questioning how money stories are told in the whole sports industry. He then talks about the confusion around fight contracts, explaining that if Floyd announces several fights while a big matchup like the Tyson fight is being discussed, it could frustrate promoters. In boxing, timing and exclusivity are very important. This makes the situation even more ironic, because it was also mentioned that Floyd accused Showtime of using unfair or shady business practices.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And, yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic.
At the same time, some critics say Floyd's own promotion created similar confusion during the Logan Paul fight. Because of this, the situation becomes messy, with everyone blaming someone else. However, Chael also points out an interesting contradiction. People may question Floyd's finances, doubt the money he claims to earn, argue about contracts, or criticize exhibition fights. But whenever Mayweather's name appears on a fight poster, the entire combat sports world still stops and pays attention.
Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way.
Chael Sonnen had already added fuel to the discussion about whether Floyd might be broke. Then Jason Whitlock and the panel joined in, and the conversation quickly turned into a deep investigation of Floyd's finances. It felt like the discussion had moved from talking about boxing to analyzing money and business deals. Whitlock supported the idea mentioned by Shannon Sharpe and O'Shea that Floyd coming out of retirement could be about chasing a huge payday. When names like Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, and Terrence Crawford were mentioned, it became clear that they were talking about the big money fights that could attract massive attention. Shannon explained that these are the kinds of matchups that could generate the amount of money Floyd might be looking for. Then Whitlock referenced the Rocky movie line, "Why do you fight?" which made the conversation turn into a deeper and more philosophical discussion.
Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice.
Floyd built his whole brand around the idea that money equals success, even changing his nickname from Pretty Boy to Money. Whitlock points out the irony. When your image is all about wealth, any rumor about financial trouble blows up into a huge story. Dre adds a more realistic view, saying the real issue isn't how much Floyd made, but what we don't know about his cash flow, assets, debts, taxes, and lifestyle, the financial iceberg behind all the flashy Instagram posts. The panel then jokes about gamblers going broke, IRS bills, and luxury spending, making Floyd's career seem less like a simple victory lap and more like a complicated puzzle. The funny part? While some on the panel question the idea of a nearly 50-year-old fighter returning to the ring, everyone secretly knows the truth. If Floyd announces a fight with someone like Crawford, Canelo, or Pacquiao, all the arguing will stop, and everyone will be watching when the bell rings.
$1 billion, and he's 47 years old, and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't prove it.
Whitlock and the panel had already turned Floyd's comeback story into a financial debate. But then Andre Ward joined in and shifted the conversation. The tone changed from hot takes and speculation to thoughtful reflection from a fighter's perspective. Ward started by saying he's always respected Floyd's work ethic, which is often overlooked when people only focus on the flashy lifestyle. He explained that all the cars, jets, and glitz were part of the Mayweather brand, but underneath it, Floyd was always a gym rat who never skipped training. Ward admitted he's conflicted about the comeback, showing honesty rather than attacking Floyd like the rumor mill does. He emphasized that boxing becomes part of a fighter's identity and that the adrenaline, attention, and huge fight night paychecks give an experience that normal life can't replicate.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing, it was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think that he can.
That's the kind of perspective only a former champion can give. Ward then talks about a possible Pacquiao rematch, and the analyst in me perks up. He explains that older fighters can actually make fights more exciting because they can't rely on constant movement like they once did. Less footwork, more direct exchanges. That challenges the common idea that an older fighter automatically makes a boring fight. The real concern, Ward says, is the danger of age. Your mind feels like you're the same fighter, but your body doesn't agree. That idea explains many of boxing's tragedies. Even though Ward admits he'd rather see both legends relaxing in retirement, he also admits curiosity wins, because when two icons with unfinished business step back into the ring, the entire fight world can't help but watch.
Gonna watch a fighter, he'll say he don't watch him, but he'll watch any potential opponent over and over and over, and he has to process, can he do anything with me? How does my skill set line up with his? Can I beat him? The problem with being 49 years of age is sometimes your brain can see things and tell you things that your body's not in agreement with. That's the problem with age. Your brain is still saying, I'm him. Your brain is still saying, man, I'm Money Mayweather. Man, these youngsters can't deal with me. But your body is saying, brother, we can't do it like that anymore.
Looking at the whole situation from a distance, it feels like 4 different perspectives are clashing at once. Joe Rogan questions Floyd's financial empire. Chael Sonnen criticizes the hype around boxing paydays. Whitlock and his panel analyze the business and lifestyle side of Floyd's career. And then Andre Ward brings the fighter's viewpoint, reminding everyone that boxing becomes part of your DNA in a way that money alone can't replace. Some argue Floyd's comeback is about chasing another huge payday. Others say the financial rumors are exaggerated gossip. Ward's perspective quietly shows that sometimes fighters return because of the spotlight, competition, and adrenaline, things normal life can't give. The real tension is between legacy versus longevity, business versus passion. Whether people think Floyd is chasing money, history, or just the thrill of being Money Mayweather again, the discussion itself proves his influence. Everyone is debating, analyzing, and arguing about every angle of this comeback, which is exactly the kind of pull legends have on the sport.
That's the struggle, and that's the danger of coming back at this age. So part of me wants to see these guys continue to make money. Part of me wants to see these guys, how do they do it at this age? Man, show me something. Show me how your mind can overtake the deficiencies you may have in your body at your age. But the deeper part of me, man, I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on a beach somewhere, living off the fruits of their labor, helping the game however they see fit to help the game, and just watching the next generations do what they do. But hey, we got to fight September 19th.
Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Floyd Mayweather is coming back for the money, his love for boxing, or to settle unfinished business with Manny Pacquiao? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to have a real conversation. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you next time.